Hi everyone, this is your Algebra 2B going over your new material for lesson 94. And I have a couple notes that I have written down for you. So if you have notes for this class, I would probably write these down just so that you can refer back to them when you are trying to determine if something is a function. So the first thing that there's a definition in this text that says a function is a set of ordered pairs in which no two pairs have the same first element and different second element. So what this means is that you cannot have one x value that leads to two different y values. So one x value cannot lead to two different y values. If you have this, then this is not going to be a function. The next thing that I have in my notes is a function is something that has for every value of x exactly one answer. So you can have multiple x values that can lead to the same y value. So when we're looking at a chart like this, a diagram like this, what you need to know is that the boxes on the left are your domain or your x values. And then your boxes on the right are going to be your range or your y values. So again, two things. One x value cannot lead to two different y values. And multiple x values can lead to the same y value. So if I'm looking at these boxes down here, I need to determine if these are functions. So if I look at this first box over here, I have one x value that leads to a y value and one x value that leads to a y value. So I have two different multiple x values that lead to the same y value. So this right here is a function. But then if I look at this one right here, I have an x value that leads to a y value, and then I have this x value that leads to two different y values. Now remember from this definition that one x value cannot lead to two different y values. So because this one x value is leading to two different y values, this is not going to be a function. Now if I look at this next one, I have 4 leads to 5, so an x leads to a y and x leads to a y, but then this x doesn't lead to anything. So because this x does not have a matching y value, every x value has to have a y value, so this is not going to be a function either. And then this last one, if you plug any real number into this function, it is going to give you a y value, so this one is also going to be a function. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at ordered pairs. Now in an ordered pair, this is an x and this is a y. This is an x, this is a y, this is an x, this is a y, this is x, this is y. So what we want to see is which of these are functions. If one x value cannot lead to two different y value, but we can have multiple x values lead to the same y value. There's a couple ways to do this. You can do it by just looking at it, or you can draw the diagram. So for A, I'm going to draw the diagram. So I have these numbers given to me. I have 4, 7, negative 3, and negative 6. 4, 7, negative 3, and negative 6. And they're all leading to different y values. 4 is going to 3. 7 is going to 5. Negative 3 is going to negative 2, and negative 6 is going to negative 4. So because they're all going to different y values, this A is a function. Then I'm going to look at number B, part B. So I see that 4 is leading to 3. Well, first off, let's look at all the x values. These are all my x values. Well, first of all my x values are different. And remember, every x value has to have one y value, but multiple x values can lead to the same y value. So I have 4 leads to 3, 5 leads to negative 2, 7 leads to 3, and 6 leads to 3. But we can have, remember from this definition, multiple x values can lead to the same y value. Well, I have multiple x values leading to the same y value. So this one is a function. Now I'm going to look at C. So C I'm going to draw out again. So I'm going to list out all of my x values. So that would be 5, 4, 7, and then 5 again. And then I have negative 2, I have negative 3, I have negative 2, then I have 4. So 5 leads to negative 2, 5 leads to negative 2, 4 leads to -3, 7 leads to -2, and 5 leads to 4. So I have 2 x values that lead to the same y value. Well, I can have multiple x values lead to the same y value, but what I cannot have is one x value cannot lead to 2 different y values. So because 5 leads to -2 and 5 leads to 4, this is not a function. And now this last one, I'm going to underline all of my x values. So I have 7 goes to -2 and 3 goes to -2. Well, again, we can have multiple x values lead to the same y value. So this is okay. Then I have 6 leads to 5 and 4 leads to 5. Again, you can have multiple x values, so 6 and 4 lead to the same y value. So this is okay too. So therefore, this one is a function. Okay, and now we're going to look at the next part of this lesson, which is just evaluating a function. So what they're going to do is they're going to give you functions. So you say h of x is equal to 4x minus 3, and then this is p of x is equal to x squared minus 3x. They want you to find p of -3, which means you need to go to the p function and you need to plug -3 into the function. So if I'm evaluating p of -3, I'm going to replace all my x's with -3. So this would be -3 squared minus 3 times -3. The biggest thing to remember is that when you're doing this, you want to input it into parentheses. So when I plug in -3 into this x, you put it into parentheses, and then when I plug that one in, you put it into parentheses. So -3 squared is going to give us +9. -3 times -3 is +9 as well, which means that my result is going to just be 18. Now they gave us h of x just to throw you off because you actually don't even need to use that function. You only needed to use the p function. Now those are the examples that they go through in the book. Now I want you to pause this video and I want you to try them on your own. So I want you to try numbers 6 and 7 on your own. When you're done, I'm going to go through them. So you can unpause the video once you have tried them. Now I'm going to look at number 6. So number 6, we're trying to determine which one of these are functions. So again, I am going to try and draw this one as a diagram. So I'm going to underline all of my x values. So I have 3, 4, -2, and -5. And then for my y values, I have 2, 5, -1, and -3. So 3 goes to 2, 4 goes to 5, -2 goes to -1, and -3 goes to -3. So this is a function. So A is a function. Now I'm going to look at B. So for this one, I have 3 leads to 2, 4 leads to -1, 6 leads to 2, and 5 leads to 2. So I have 3, 6, and 5 that are leading to 2. But remember from our definition that you can have multiple x values lead to the same y value and it still will be considered a function. So since 3 leads to 2, 6 leads to 2, and 5 leads to 2, this is still going to be a function. Now remember, you can have multiple x values lead to the same y value, but you cannot have one x value lead to 2 different y values. So now I'm going to look at C. C, I'm going to underline all of my x values. This one I'm going to draw out so that you can see it. You can do this for all of them if you would like to. So I have 6, 5, and 7. And then my y values, I have -3, -4, and then +3. So I have 6 leads to -3. Then I have 5 leads to -4. I have 7 leads to -3. Remember, that's okay. We can have 2 x values lead to the same y value. But then I have 6 leads to +3. And this right here is what makes this not a function. Again, you can't have one x value that leads to multiple y values. Now for our last one, I have 6 leads to 2, 4 leads to 2. Well, I can have 6 and 4 lead to the same y value. And then I have 5 leads to 4 and 3 leads to 4. And again, you can have multiple x values lead to the same y value. So therefore, this is a function. So a, b, and d are all functions. Now I'm going to look at number 7. So again, if you haven't tried this one, please pause the video here and then attempt this problem. So I have h of x is equal to 3x minus 1 and p of x is equal to x squared minus 2x. Find p of negative 2. Well, I'm looking for the p function. The p function is here. Now, if I want to evaluate p of negative 2, all you're going to do is take that negative 2 and plug it into where all the x's are, which would give us negative 2 squared minus 2 times negative 2. So the biggest thing to remember is just to put those variables in parentheses. Now I'm going to evaluate negative 2 squared is 4, and then negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 as well. So when I add that together, my answer is 8. Now in the comment section of this video, you are going to post all of your questions that you have on 94A, so numbers 1 through 15. I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.